Good morning. Welcome to Justsewsherrie. I'm Justsewsherrie here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Well, hello and welcome to Saturday the 13th of September. It's my bestie's birthday today, so I shall be going around later to sing happy birthday to her, and I'm sure she'll be over the moon. We're just on 6:10 in the morning. It was 5 past when I started. We're on take 4. Let's hope. Welcome if for some bizarre reason YouTube has decided to land you here, and yeah, it is a bit of a parallel universe. Welcome if you're a fairly new subscriber. It's really good to see you. It's really good to see you coming back. Welcome if you've been scooped up along the way from start to finish. It's fantastic, as always, to have you along, and as always, welcome to those who've been with me from the very, very start. So, what happened this week? Well, I went to a little bit of a concert with a little bit of a semi-famous band. Yeah, I went to see Coldplay. Yes, we do have a Justsewsherrie. Doesn't involve Chris Martin this time. Although, yeah, it was mentioned. I'll tell you about that when we get there. So, yes, this week's Justsewsherrie. Even like, did that really happen? Did that really happen? So I do have a few. One of them has video evidence. I kid you not, but I'm waiting on said video evidence. So I shall probably tell you about that next week. It involves another person as part of my supporting cast. So yeah, once I get the video, that should be good fun to watch. But yeah, the concert was amazing. For anybody who doesn't know, my daughter's a roadie with Coldplay. Last night was their last show of this part of the tour. The band are now having a break and they will be back in 2027. Whether Courtney goes along, I'm not sure. So yeah, I got a ticket. Well, mums are like just allowed to go because I'm a mum. And it's always really funny because my daughter, if you've seen the photos on Instagram, you'll know, but my daughter's, God, 5'8" maybe. I'm 4'10" to 11-ish, kind of. So whenever she introduces me, plus she's mixed race and she's quite dark as well. So whenever she introduces me to people and says, "Oh, that's me mum," everyone's like, You can see them all. And one of the production managers who's like kind of in charge of the shebang, she introduced me to him and he literally looked me up and down and I thought, checking me out. And what happened was I turned away to do something and he mouthed at Courtney, "It's tiny." That's what he must have been looked like. Like, do you really only come that far off the floor? Like, is this, and you're her mum? So it's a kind of a standing joke that I kept the crappy jeans for myself and gave the good jeans with the long legs to my daughter. And I always say it's the ultimate in parental sacrifice that I kept the good jeans for her. So yeah, that's always good fun. So yeah, it was really. So I went down there on the Friday and spent Friday night with Courtney and her girlfriend Emma. We just went out for something to eat, and it appears Emma has words that she would like to add to the Dod dictionary as well, because I'd said something. Courtney said, "Do you want to go and see a show?" I said, "I'd love to, Courtney." I says, "But we can't really converse at the theatre, can we?" And she went, "Oh," she says, "Emma's got a word for that." I says, "What?" She went, "She calls it conversate." I'd like to conversate with you. All right then. Okay, Emma. Yeah, you've landed in the right family. Well done. So yes, we couldn't conversate if we'd gone to the show. So we went out for something to eat to a pasta place, and it was fantastic. We were staying at one of the hotels, literally a stone's throw from Wembley, so it was about a 10-minute walk. Well, probably a 5-minute walk to other people. It took me about 15 minutes, I think. But I did get there. Didn't quite get back, nearly. So, and then on the Saturday, I was under strict instructions where to go and how to meet her and this, that and the other. So I went in, and it was at Wembley. For anybody in a different country, Wembley's our national stadium. Well, it's England's national stadium, and I have never been. And it was part of the reason that I went, because I thought I'm never going to get a better chance to see Wembley. And like I walked in with Courtney, and there was nobody in, just like all the worker bees buzzing about on the floor, and there was like all the stewards and all that sort of people getting corralled into shape and this, that and the other. So yeah, I went in, and I literally looked up and my knees went. Like my knees just went, oh God. And I felt really shaky and wobbly, and I was just like, God, I'm at Wembley. I am at Wembley. Like, oh my God, this is Wembley. Courtney was just laughing at me. I was like, I like couldn't move for a while. So yeah, so that was good fun. And then we had a wander around, and then Courtney took me on the stage, on the big, off the runway, you go up the runway. And it was dead funny, actually. You could see people, like I walked between the barrier and the stage all the way up the runway, and then to the stage at the end. And you could see all these super fans that like run in, and they're like right against the barrier, and they'll stay there for 4 hours until Coldplay come out, because they're not going to lose their places. Wheeze don't happen, drinks don't happen, they're there, and they are not moving for anyone or any bodily need either. And you could see them all sort of looking, thinking, oh, I wonder who they are, because that would be me. I'd be looking at these people thinking, oh, I wonder if they're family, I wonder if they're like besties with Chris Martin. Well, no, I'm not besties with Chris Martin, don't we? Yeah, he fell out with us. Anyway, yeah, so we went on the stage, and I was a little bit like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Once I was up there, I was like, hey, I could get used to this life, because there was a few thousand people there. Like when I went up, it's like, yeah, this isn't actually as scary as it seems. So so that was fun. And then I got to watch the show it's called Front of House. So they've got like, it's where all the tech people sit. So they've got all the, well, yeah, all the technology. And it's quite literally the best seat in the house, because there aren't any seats. You've got your standing area on the ground, obviously, around the stages and stuff. And then the only seats are obviously up in the high rise, up the sides, if you like. So there aren't any seats on the ground, apart from I get a special seat in front of house. So, and it's always really, really cool. And I call one of them, she's like the fairy godmother, because she does you can hear her like counting down. She's in like the earphone things, talking like on the channel, and she can see the band, and she gets like updates as to where they are, what they're doing, kind of when they're coming on stage and this, that, the other. So she counts down to everything that happens. So for example, like the fireworks, she'll go 3, 2, 1, go, and all the fireworks. So she has to be on point for every second of the show. And another bloke called Shaheem, who is just incredible. He like looks after like all the lights and stuff like that, apart from the spotlights, and he is just amazing, absolutely amazing. And Emma, Courtney's girlfriend, she stays in front of house as well. Her job is she's spotlights Chris Martin, so it's her job to keep the spot on Chris Martin wherever he goes, follow him around all the stage. She gave me a go. God, it's so difficult. You've got like, you know, like as if they're like levers kind of thing. So, and you can, obviously you've got it on camera, but it's spongy. It's obviously so you can have it like, so it's fluid, and she moves the spot with him, but I couldn't have done it in a million years. I really couldn't have. So it was amazing. It was fabulous. And then obviously I stayed after, but I'll tell you about one thing when I get this footage back. But basically it was the guys' last night before the last night. So it was the second last show. The last night before the last night, yeah. So they were all having a bit of a party afterwards, and as soon as it finishes, that was it. Beer's out. They get a whole load of pizzas ordered in for them. So it's like, you know, like 37 pizzas turned up, and everyone's having a beer and having pizza, and because they've been a family for 3 years, and even when the show picks back up again, they won't necessarily all be on it. Depends what they're doing, if they've picked up other projects or where they're working or whatever. And at the last show, you see, they then have to do, it's called load out, so they have to basically pack everything away. So that was the last night that they would get to be together after a show. So it was really quite, I don't know, heart-wrenching to watch them all, like, yeah, like sort of saying ta-da to their besties and this, that and the other, even though obviously they're going to see each other at the next show. So we hung around there for a while, and then Courtney, she took me in a golf buggy to the to the doors, like where I could get out again, to the west gate where I could get out, and nearly killed me along the way. I went to say ta-da to Emma, so I'd hunched forward on my seat and I'd given Emma a cuddle, and I was like sat like that, and Courtney put the accelerator on and I just went flying back. Emma nearly like, oh my God, I thought you killed your mum. Like, and Courtney was just creased, absolutely creased. I was like, Courtney, you nearly killed us. She was like, death by golf buggy. So when we got to the end, one of the guys, Neil, who looks after, I think it's Chris's piano, he's responsible for all that, for sort of all things Chris mechanical, and he was leaving. He says, oh, I'll walk you down. And I was like, all right then. And he's lovely. I've met him when I went to Glasgow a couple of years ago. So this is me Justsewsherrie. Walking home, bear in mind it's 1 o'clock in the morning by this point. This is the woman who was asleep by 8 o'clock every night. Right, this is 1 o'clock in the morning, getting walked home by a bloke. How many years has it been since that happened? A long time, a long time. So we're walking down, and as we comes down to like we walked down the side of Wembley, and there was obviously like paths like above, if you like, sort of another level up, above the, I'm not explaining this very well. There's like pedestrian areas above you. And we're walking down, and obviously the pedestrian areas are held up by great big pillars. And I was chatting away to him, and I says, what was it I was saying? Can't remember what I was saying, but I was saying la 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 la. And we got to the end of the pillar, and he was nowhere to be seen. I thought, Where is he? And I turned up the pillar. And bearing in mind, it was an elongated, so it was like a longer one, a big thick one, but a longer one, so to speak. And yeah, and so I walked up that way, came around back where I had been the first time. No Neil. And I thought, so went the other way, still no Neil. I thought, have I imagined him? Have I imagined having a man walk me home because it's been so long? I've decided to go into the realms of, oh, wouldn't it be nice? And then he just popped up like around the other side, creasing himself laughing. I'm chasing a man around a pillar at 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, what? In what world would I ever have predicted that would happen? So yeah. I'm like, where the hell's he gone? Yeah, I'm actually quite blushing because we gets back to the hotel and one of the lads I'd spoken to earlier had come in with his mate. He says, oh, hello. I says, oh, you're right. And I says, I've met you before, haven't I? He says, oh, aye. He says, I'm the one with the silver tongue. Because he'd said something to me earlier on the night and Courtney been, stop chatting up me mother. And I was laughing, saying, oh, he's got a silver tongue, that one. And I says, oh, yes, you're the one with the silver tongue, aren't you? Neil turned around and went, I've been trying my best for the last 20 minutes and you just come in, swoop in and take the prize. What's that all about? So, yeah. So that was an interesting end to the evening. Yeah. But all in all, just a fantastic night. Courtney and Emma looked after me. Bless her. Yeah, I've talked for so long. I'm sorry. Yeah, fabulous night with, 1 or 2 Justsewsherries, which will be reenacted at a later date. Cross stitch. Well, I'm all of it. Out of sorts. I've got hardly any for you. I don't know whether, so it's been 2 weeks since I've done a regular Flosstube. Last week I did the 2-year Flosstube. And there were fully finishes in that, because I did a fully finished parade. There were fully finishes in that I'd had from the week before. So I'm not going to show you them again, because I think most of you will have watched the beginning part anyway. So for 2 weeks stitching, I don't feel like I've got anything to show you. But of course, I've had totally stitch free days. The Friday when I drove down to London, the Saturday when I drove back, the Sunday when I was the Saturday when I was out with Courtney. The Sunday when I drove back, I was so tired. Never been so tired in a long time. I got back and I lay on my bed thinking, I'll do some stitching. I didn't sleep. Jem jumped on my knee and I just sat with the cat for about 2 hours, just staring into nowhere, just recovering. And Monday was much the same. I took the day off work because I was just jiggered. I was meant to be going on the Wednesday, you see. And I had taken the Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday off work, so I knew it would take us a while to recover. And then, of course, it was changed to the Saturday night that I was going. So, yeah, I took Monday off work. Didn't stitch on the Monday either. I didn't have the brain power to do anything at all. So I have had quite a few. And then on the Thursday as well, that I taped I did a little bit of stitching in the morning. But then it took me like 4 hours to record the Flossiversary one. And then obviously had to edit and this, that and the other. So basically what I'm trying to say is, I haven't got much to sort of show you. What I will try and do though is put my teeth in instead of someone else's so that I can get some words out properly. That would be good. That would be good fun. So, what have I got? I have got a finish, and I've got a fairly big finish, which I'm pleased about. Very, very, very pleased. I have got a new start. I have got... I've only got 5 whips. I don't know if I'm missing some or not. I've changed me storage round slightly, and I'm not in the swing of putting ones that I know I've stitched onto one side yet. So I need to get that system perfected, because I've just had to go through them and kind of guess what I've done and what I haven't. So this is all I've got. I have got some gifts that have been gifted to me, but also gifts that I have bought for the first time in a long, long time. I've got gifts. I think that's it. So, shall we get started? We will start with the finish. Where is my board? Where is my board? Now, I should have ironed this, really. But I couldn't be bothered to get the iron out. I can never be bothered to get the iron out. I think the blouses that I need to iron, I've worn them once this summer because I just couldn't be bothered to iron them again. There we go. A Burnhope, or Anne without an E, as I said. So this is by MommaLovesYouGB, and it's called A Burnhope 1895. I love this, and I honestly never thought I would get through it. When I looked at it on the picture of it on the pattern, I just thought I love it, but I know for a fact I'll do maybe it's a third if I'm lucky. I'll lose interest, and that'll be that. So to get to the end of it, excuse me, to get to the end of it, I'm over the moon, absolutely over the moon. Melody, I've done all the doofers. I even remembered I did have to re-hoop 3 times to do that doofer, because I kept re-hooping and thinking, what, I've forgotten what I've missed. So 3 times it took me, but yes, Melody, I got there, got them all in. There are a couple of spanners in the works in here. So up here, you see this has an extra space in. And I was talking to, now who was it? Was it Val? I think it might be Val, saying she started it. And she wondered what I'd done, whether I'd, because it's obviously Anne has done this. I assume Anne has done this, and it's been reproduced faithfully. She's put an extra one in. And I remember at the time coming across it and thinking, oh, like that's not right. And then checking the pattern and realising that that's what the pattern did. So I just went with it. So there's that one there. It's also down here. There is an extra one in. Can you see both at the side and underneath? And the same across here, although what she's done here is just put an extra one at the bottom rather than put an extra space in the shape. So there are, oh, and on the bottom as well, there is this little anomaly where she's put an extra one in. So I have stitched it faithfully to the pattern. I suspect that Anne's mistake. I assume they're Anne's mistakes. I love this though. I found it unusual though, or I kind of wish I know what her psyche was behind. This one she's done a little bit of like black work, if you like, some backstitch along these two. But this one she hasn't. It's all been done in cross stitch. I'd like to know what her thoughts were around doing that. Whether she did this one, because she would have done this one first, I imagine. Whether she did it and thought, oh, bollocks, I'm not doing that again. And if so, she's a girl after my own heart. Or whether she thought, I'm going to change it up, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So, not entirely sure, but I would like to know, like I say, what I thought process was. Now, you will see I have gone with my name. So, I've gone with Sherrie Ann with an E, mainly because I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. All the way through, I've lovingly called her Anne without an E. And because it was Anne without an E, she felt the need to do this embellishing all on here because she didn't have any in her name. Her name looks very naked. A-double-N. And it's funny because if your name is Anne and somebody says to you, and they're taking your name down like for putting records in some way, you know, like if you're buying a new phone, okay, what's your name? Anne. Is that with an E or without? So you always get into the habit, or I do, Anne with an E. Or Anne without an E. You just don't. I could be wrong. There might be lots of Annes out there who haven't got this experience. But that's mine. So I've lovingly called her Anne without an E. All the way through. So I've ended up putting my own name in, Sherrie Ann with an E. And 2025 when it's done. Now, what I will do, definitely must remember to do, is when I frame this, because I'll be getting this framed, whether I do it myself or I get somebody else to do it, I'm not sure yet, but I will put a card on the back to say what the pattern is and where it's been reproduced from. So, you know, in like 200 years' time, when everybody's cooing over all my needlework, they know that I haven't actually I have stitched this in 2025 and it's me who's done it, the work. However, I've followed the pattern from Burnhope from MommaLovesYouGB. I am bloody thrilled with it. Absolutely over the bloody moon. So this is done on antique white. It's 40 count. So I think if I'd done it on 32 count, she would be a big old lady. I think she is a big lady anyway. I think she's like 300 by 300, something like that. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I do. I love it. I love it. Love it, I love it, I love it. Because that was another one of my thoughts was, do I put my year of birth on? But I'm assuming she's done it in 1895. Because she would have put a date of birth, surely, if it was that age. She would have put her date of birth. Not sure. Oh, God. Anyway, pickle with this. Okay, new start. Now, this is something I have not done before in cross stitch. So I've been itching to start this. Companion Quaker, part 2 by The Good Housewife. And I got this at the Big Stitch last year. I can't remember the name of the vendor, but she had some really sort of eclectic patterns. There was all sorts of different stuff that I've never seen before. And I fell in love with this. I really like this. So I started this when I was in Wembley. So this is where I am. So I am doing it on, picture this plus 36 count. Where's the thing gone? I don't know where the hell's the thing gone? I'm sure it's 36 count. Haunted by picture this plus. Oh, it's here. And you? Yeah, 36 count haunted picture this plus. And the bit that I haven't done before, I know you're going, Sherrie, what? It's cross stitching. You've done that before. You have done that before. We can attest to you haven't done that before. What I'm doing is I'm doing it in pearl cottons. So I have got a whole load of pearl cottons. And I thought it was about time I bloody well used them. So I've literally just picked up the colours that I like. So it's like an icy, bluey sage colour. I don't know what it's meant to be done with. What's it meant to be done with? So it's meant to be done with MPS. Yeah, so it's meant to be done with 641-927, one skein of needlepoint silk. Oh, okay. So we recommend 3 skeins of 851 and 1 skein of 641. I don't know whether that's DMC. I would need to look up the colours, but that's what I've chosen to go with. So I've done the start, and I've just started onto the odd colour, like the actual colour on that as well. So I'm pleased to have this started. I've been wanting to do it for ages. Picture this plus is notoriously tight weave. I don't know what they do in the dyeing process to make it so tight, because I bet if I counted it, it comes in at a 40 count. But I loved it so much I went off on a hunt for the part 1 of it, and it's nothing like it. I mean, I've got it. I managed to track it down on Etsy, but I don't see why it's part 2. It doesn't seem to. I thought maybe it was the second part of the tree or something. Who knows? So that is my new start. You'll be able to hear me this week as well, because I've managed to find, well, I haven't managed to find, I've ordered cables so that I can fit everything together. Still haven't found that cable, you know. The one that I've had like since I bought me MacBook about 18 months ago. I don't know, I have no clue where it's gone. No doubt it'll be at Justsewsherrie when I find it. Okay, onto my whips. So we'll go with this one first. Now, I've made a bit of a boob with it. Oh. So this is your skin. What's that? I've still got bloody Coldplay going round and round in my head. To be fair, poor Courtney says that ears bleed these days when she hears them. They're great though. They are. If you ever get the chance to see them live, it's a show. It's an extravaganza. It's not just the band on stage. I say there's fireworks, confetti, reams of streamers. Oh, I had a proposal as well. So they've got puppets that do one of the songs. Is it Let Somebody Go? I can't remember. Anyway, so they've got puppets. Now Chris does this thing where he does the Jumbotron. Can you all remember when the a certain CEO and HR top dog got outed at a Coldplay concert. So yeah, they do that thing. Everyone calls it a kiss cam. It's not. Apparently, he calls it a jumbotron, and they've been doing it for like a decade or something. So anyway, he was doing that, and then it came across the puppets, and Courtney and Emma said afterwards, we were like, "Why has he got the puppets on? That's not normal. That's a new thing." And he says something about he spoke to the puppets or whatever, and he says, "Now, most of you won't know that the puppets are operated, like puppeteered. I don't know what the word is. Puppeteered by a real life couple." And then suddenly behind her there was a little plaque from the man puppet saying, "Will you help me propose?" And we were like, huh? So Chris made like a little song up, and he got down on one knee and he proposed to her. And so obviously Chris was in on it. But there wasn't very many people who were, because Courtney and Emma said the crew were like, "No way." Like, they all just were like, "That's just fabulous." They're really, really, yeah, really, really lovely to see that happening. And Chris is a big fan of just let's live in peace and love each other. That's all he wants. So, I've got to show you see, I got so excited there. So this is the Cricket Collection, Autumn. I have made a bit of a boob. So I started this in April, aiming to have it done, finished in September. So, and I was going to do a letter a month to make it dead easy. And I've got a nice, it's not a small, but it's not a large either, like a nice medium stitch completed with not a huge amount of effort. So April, May, June, July, August, September. Guess who forgot about it? April, May, June, July. This should have been done in September. Guess who didn't even pick it up in September? Because I thought I was being clever. I'm on about my storage system downstairs. I've got like buckets and stuff up here with different types of whips in. And I've got a bit of a storage system downstairs, which is where I stitch. So all my current projects are down there. But I was trying to create a little bit of room. So I put this one and the other one that I'm doing monthly up here. And thought, right, that's it. Because I do it at the beginning of the month, get it out of the way, and that's it. I can just concentrate on other ones that I want to do. I'd obviously put it up in July and forgotten about it. I thought I'd done it in August. So the M should have been done last month. So I have done that. Now I could either just say and just do the N in October, just do the M in September and the N in October. The chances are I'm not going to get it fully finished anyway, so it would be nice to have it done. So I might do that. The other camp is to just crack on, get it done, get it finished. But I've got other things I want to be stitched on. That was the whole point of doing it like this, so that I could still devote some of my time to like my samplers and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think I might just leave it and do N in October, and then hopefully get it fully finished for next year. I love it when you tell us what to do. It makes my life so much easier. It genuinely is, because I'm sort of imagining what yous would be saying, and I think yous would be saying, "Sherrie, take a chill pill, finish your N in October, enjoy your stitching, have fun." Yeah. So I'm going to go with the advice that I think you're giving me. But isn't it looking good? So it's been done on Winter Brew, 36 count Winter Brew by R&R. Yes. I think it's perfect. Love it. Love this sort of colour, this sort of sack. This is quite a light sack cloth, but yeah, it's fast becoming my favourite colour for stitching either samplers on or autumn pieces on. But note to self, don't put it away, Sherrie, because even if you're not stitching on it, it needs to be kept as a current whip. Now, oh, I'll show you my other one while we're on. So, my other one that I'm doing of this, is it gone? Oh, I know where it is. Hang on. Okay, I've got it. So this is the Cricket Collection Christmas, and I'm doing this with Rachel, the Talking Dog Stitcher, and Rosie X Stitches. As one of mine and Rachel's normal sort of Christmas sales that we've usually got going on. So if I'd been more on the ball, we should have started it much earlier and done a letter a month. As it stands, I've separated it out into 6 monthly. We started it in July, separated it into 6 monthly segments. And one's like, well, mainly October and December, I've made them just the letter and there's very plain stitching in it. Yes, there's quite a bit of stitching, but it's meditative stitching. So there isn't a huge amount of counting to do because certainly Rachel and Rosie will be taken up with kiddos at Christmas time, and everyone's doing Halloween in October, aren't they? So this is as far as I am. I am going to have to backtrack, aren't I, and do this. I'm going to have to backtrack and do that in a white. What's it done with? Let's see what it's done with. Ivory, 822. It's not working for me. I'm going to have to backtrack. You can't see it, just. So, yeah, I'm going to backtrack. So, what have I done since you last saw it? I'm not sure. I'll be honest, I'm not sure. But basically, the I and the S, I think, were let's have a look. Yeah, September was the I and the S. So I am up to date, kind of. I've still got a little bit to put on the top of here and on the top of here because these are meant to be Christmas ornaments. And it's meant to have a string of lights around here. I have got some little craft lights that I'm going to stick on instead. Sorry, I'm just thinking on the job here as to what I can use. But again, they're up in that cupboard. Everything Christmas is stored up in that cupboard, so I'll have to hunt them down. So it's been done on Water's Edge by Blackberry Primitives, I think. Is this going to be another Hunt the Tag? Oh, I think I might have put it on here. I have. So I've usually put it on here. It is Water's Edge, 36 count. It's lovely, this. I've really enjoyed stitching on Tonya's fabrics because I did the Stacey Nash pin keep on Fossil, and I loved that as well. So yeah, absolutely love her fabrics. And it's a really lovely sage green. It's weird, you know, I bang on saying I don't like green at all. And yet I stitch loads of stuff on the fabric that's green. I enjoy it. So yes, I am up to date. Your move, Rachel, Rosie. They hate me. I'm sure they hate me. I've got so much more time than they have though to stitch. They've got children's. Yeah. Yeah. Me and children's don't play well together. Yeah. They seem to like me, but I'm not a fan. Why do you think I only had one? It's like, oh no, this is not the life for me. Yeah, this is not the life for me. Okay, another challenge of mine has been to get rid of some of my Halloween whips. So I'll do as much as possible, pick a whip a month and do as much as I can. So last month it was the Edgar Allan Poetry by Tiny Modernist, I think. What was it, the one before? I think it was Mushroom Witch by Primitive Hair, which I managed to finish. I didn't manage to finish Nevermore, but to be fair, I barely started it and I got a good chunk done. So this one, I knew this was left nearly. I knew, and I remember thinking, I'll be over the moon when I come back to this next year, because there'll be no stitching and it'll be done, just about. So, and there is no goddamn good reason why this isn't finished now, other than I'm hacky lazy. We know this. If you've been here for a while, you know how lazy I am. There is laziness and there is Sherrie's laziness, and Sherrie's laziness is far superior. It's not much I've got superior to anybody else, but my laziness really is. So, When Pumpkins Glow by Brenda Gervais. Love this. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I am almost nearly done. Look at that. Feast your eyes on that. It's a while since we've had a feast your eyes, isn't it? Feast your eyes on that. Isn't it fabulous? So the only thing I have got to do... Oh, I've done those ones. So when you last saw her, I've done all the letters at this side. But other than that, I hadn't done anything else. So I had done the flower, but I hadn't done the leaves and the stalk. So I've put that in. I've come along here. Like what happened was I got to the end of me like Halloweeny stitching and I still had all this confetti stitching to do, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm putting it away for next year. I'll be over the moon next year to find out how little there is to do. So I was pleased, but I still had the confetti stitching to do. So I've done all along here, and I've done this flower on the end as well here. I have come along and done the bottom, the grass from about here needed doing. Done the... Now, are the crows or ravens at Halloween? You know, like everyone has like black birds on. Not blackbirds, blackbirds. The colour black birds. Yeah, yeah. Hang on your hat. So anyway, are they crows or ravens around Halloween, or are they both? Because there's the Raven Bewitched, isn't there, by Blackbird? But I thought the rest of them are crows. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I've done this colour black bird, whether it's a crow or a raven, I'm not sure. And the little stars. I love these little stars. They're done on. It's my new favourite colour. I've never stitched with this before. Sandcastle, I think it was. Yeah. Sandcastle. It's my new favourite light gold. That's Weeks Dye Works. Isn't it fab? I love that. I've done the little stars. Now, what do I have left to do then? I have got a star up here because I had this side of it hooped up, so I couldn't do the star. There's a star up here and there's a star up here. And I've got to do like the banner holding, like the back stitch holding the banner together. Is that about it? Oh no, and I've got to do the bird's legs. So it's just snagging really, 2 stars and a bit of back stitching. So with a bit of luck, this should be finished next week. Over the moon. And I want this as either a flat fold or a frame finish. I want it as a flat finish. I don't want like a cushion or anything like that. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And this is done on 40 count platinum, as you can see. So again, this on 32 count would be pretty big. What dimensions are there? Stitch count 207 wide. So she's a big lass widthways, but 78 high. So yeah, bit like me, plenty wide but not very high, not very tall. Yeah. So that is that one. The sooner I get them done as well, the sooner I get some excess fabric. So for ones like these, I don't cut the fabric off because I need it to comfortably hoop. So I just kind of go with it. So it does mean I'll get a chunk of fabric again. And I should have said I'm doing this with all of the called for. So I'll show you as well what I had. I'm sure I had 3 projects in this bag of the Halloween ones. Well, Halloween autumn ones that I want to do. So the next one I've got set to go on here once that one's done is Autumn Notes by Shepherd's Bush. So I'm all good to go. So I need to check that I've got the threads, that the threads are compatible still. I don't think they are. I think I'm going to have to do some thread hunting. But for something like that, I'm probably not going to buy more threads. I'll probably just colour match. So that's lush. So that is what I'm doing next. And I have got some fabric. I assume that I've thingied out. Thornfield by Needle and Flax. I don't know what this is. If this is, no, it's not Thornfield, is it? I don't know what that is. Random piece of fabric in my bag. So obviously before I got the idea of putting the little like notes on, like clipping the little things on to show us what the pattern is, what the fabric is. Right. Nearly coming to the end. Nearly. So we face the final curtain. So this is I hope you like the trumpet sounds and all sorts. Historical Sampler Company, pot sampler. I'm loving this. Absolutely loving this. Oh, do you know what I forgot to tell you? Where did I put me? What I did forget to tell you was, when I did my name, I used the alphabet from the pot sampler, because there is no sort of small letter alphabet on there. I could have gotten away with one of these for the S and the A. So I just picked an alphabet that I came across, and I knew that there was one in pot sampler, so I'm like, right, that's what I'm doing. Away we go. Off we go. Okie dokie. So she's looking good, isn't she? Isn't she looking fabulous? Now, what have I done since you last saw her? Took me hours, and it always looks like nothing. I think that's what's so tedious about the border. So basically I came down here and did some more of the border. So, because there's, so you've got the green first, and then you've got yellow that mirrors it all along the way. Then you've got the yellow at this side, then the yellow at this side, and then you've got two different colours for the... It's just tedious. It takes me a long time to do not very much when I'm doing the border for some reason. And I have started now to plot in this side. So that's as far as I am. And I'm at the bottom. I've reached the bottom. And the other thing, when I did a Burnhope, was that my border met. Everything met. Like, I don't even know how, but it did. It met. So we are yet to see whether this will meet. Ne'er the twain shall meet. What does that even mean? Ne'er the twain shall meet. Never. Does it mean never the two shall meet? What does twain mean? The only twain I know is Mark. Yeah. So yeah, I've still got to come back up here as well and do the what you call it. Do you know, sorry, I've just gone down there. Somebody told me about something. I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm sure it was Mad Grandma told me not to forget this little birdie that I haven't done. So I've done it. I've done it. I've done me homework. So but yeah, up here it needs to have my name in as well. But so we're at the final quarter. Now far to go, and this has been done on rustic sheet by XJew 40 count. Again, this is the type of fabric I am growing to love. This sort of sackcloth colour. Love it, love it, love it. And my last one and I cannot get enough of this girl, this lady. And I have a very hot date with her today. Very, very hot date. So once I'm finished doing any editing, I also need to apologise for last week. There was a couple of things where I said I was going to put photos in. I couldn't remember what and where. So the ones that I could remember, there was only a couple that I could remember. I went back and did it, but I know there was another couple and I didn't have 2.5 hours to sit and watch it again and figure it out. So I'm really sorry. But note to self, next time I say I'm going to put a photo in, I'm going to make a note of it so that I remember what I'm talking about and can go to that section. I'll do better, miss, honest. But of course, she's my gorgeous, bloody gorgeous Gaia from Bella Filapina. I showed you there. Let's see if I can find the thing, the pattern to show you. So that is the pattern. So what have I done since you saw her? Well, basically I have concentrated in this corner. So I got the espresso through. I got me lovely little package from 123 Stitch. So I got me espresso and I got the other 2 Cryonics. So I have done basically, excuse me, all of this. So I've done all the reeds going up. And this is espresso. It's got some serious variegation in it. It's like a purpley, browny, blue. It's got some blues in, some like deep red, like plum colours. It's just got every colour known to man, I think. There's some more beading down here. This is all beads. I did all the beads in here, and in here, and these 2. Did I do this? Have I already done that? I think I've already done that, maybe. I can't remember. I might have done that. But I have sort of concentrated, rather than dipping around here, there and everywhere, which is what I tend to do. I did make a point of trying to get everything in this corner done. Oh yeah, we've done the little butterfly. We've put him in. There was a little bit of fudging went on with the butterfly, if I remember rightly. There's some Cryonic at the bottom there as well. She's just stunning. And I know we're heading into jumper season. It's the first day I've had a jumper on. Mind that's more to do with the fact that I haven't ironed anything, so I was like, oh yeah, we're down to slim pickings now for clothes to wear. So I need to get me backside into gear. Life's too short though for ironing, isn't it? It is, it's too short. So yeah. So that is her. And I shall be working on her again today. Not sure what yet. What I tend to do is lift out the patterns and have a look at the bits on the pattern to see where have I not done, because I'm a colouring in girl. Maybe it's work up. Do some more of this. Yeah, it's beautiful. This has been done on Daffodil by Fabric Fair, I think it is. Now I've got this as part of my subscription when I was in it of the Lakeside Needlecraft. So that is all of my stitching. We have got left gifts. Gifts that I bought myself, gifts that I've been given. Cotton and twine unboxing. My final thought, I think. That's about it. My forward plans maybe, because I have got a new start that I've got planned as well. Okay, one moment. On to gifts. So firstly, I will go through the cotton and twine unboxing. So this is for September. So let's have a look. I mean, it comes, sorry, I should show you. It comes as normal in the beautiful wax paper. And I know a lady who uses this as wrapping paper, so it gets reused. So you get a chocolate bar. Or should I say you got a chocolate bar? This was lovely, to the point where I'm going to look up, oh Christ, dropped the chocolate out, and little crumbs. You got, yeah, to the point where I was going to look up where they got them from, because they're bloody lovely. So you got that, you got a pattern. Now this is by, is this by? Yes, Crochet A Go Go. So Michaela Marula. So Crochet A Go Go. They're lovely, aren't they? Them little foxes. And the shrooms are lush. And with that you get, of course, fabric to stitch it on, which in my case is linen. Sun's just coming out there. So I get, and it's 32 count linen, or you can get an Ada, and you get, of course, all of the threads and a needle. It's usually a needle stuck in there somewhere. You get a tea bag, classic everyday. And I love me tea. I bloody love me tea. I do. And you get the finishing fabric as well. So let's see. So yeah, she's done it in a pillow. So you get the finishing fabric for the behind, the back side, and you get the, I don't know what you call this. It's not string, but it's not yeah, you get the stuff to go around the outside. But look at the ornament that you get. I would buy this just for the pumpkin. Isn't he just flipping gorgeous? It's the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. Just lovely. I just think that's... I was itching to show you it, to be fair, because I was dying to put the decor. I've started to put my autumn decor out now that I've got some. So that is that. Now they've got a new thing going with the subscription things. You can get, so you can sign up and you can get either the PDF on its own, you can get the kit, which is just the, well, saying just, it's the fabric and the threads and the pattern, and or you can get a box, the subscription box. So but each month you can choose what you get, so you don't have to sort of commit to getting the subscription box every month, or the PDF. You can choose sort of every month if you think, right, okay, this month I'm going to treat myself to the subscription box, and then another month, right, it's Christmas, so I'm just going to, you know, just get the PDF this month to get the pattern. So, and I think that is such a good idea. I was laughing saying, I think it was Suzanne, saying, I don't know who thought that up, but they deserve a raise. She was like, oh, it was me. I was like, well, give yourself a raise, pet, because I do think that is such a good idea. Because some months we've got spare disposable income more than others, don't we? As I've just said, Christmas, you know, Christmas is Christmas, and depending on whether you're treating yourself or you're going to say to your other half, I know what I would like for Christmas. I would like one of the boxes, one of the subscription boxes. So, or you can just get the PDF if, you know, you're too busy buying for everybody else, which is usually what women tend to do, mothers tend to do particularly. So there is that. Then I got my Talking Dog thread subscription. So this week I got Geps. I didn't get Geps. I need my Geps to tell you what I got. Bramble Bush, Brandied Pears, Brown Hen, I like that. Brown Sugar, Bunny Honey. So that's my classic Colourworks. And I got my Weeks Dye Works, which is their bees are all about the blues. So Blue Heron. I mean, to be fair, this to me, this just says Sherrie. Love these colours. So Blue Heron, Blue Jeans, is that Blue Spruce? Yeah, Blue Spruce. Blue Suede, I like that one. And Blue Topaz. So they were my subscription threads from Rachel. And then I got, now, cast your minds back. Oh, in fact, I'll show you this one first. So I then got my, I've got loads today to show you, subscription from the Stitchery. And so it's an embroidery subscription that I get. But I've also signed up to get the cross stitch as well. So August is cornflower. I think that's dead pretty. I'll show you the threads. I think that's going to be lovely. They're like the leaves, aren't they going to be gorgeous? Absolutely love them. So I got that through, and I also signed up for the cross stitch subscription as well, who Nikki's sister Sarah does, and this month it is Echinacea. And of course Echinacea, doesn't matter what you have, you can take Echinacea and be better for it. So yes, Echinacea, and I like that. I like the fact that it's in like a bottle. Something a bit different. And then I finally, Elizabeth, Lady Bird and Bees, sent me a lovely voucher for 123 Stitch for my birthday. And I've been hanging on. Because I wasn't just going to order, like, for that. I would need to order some other stuff as well, wouldn't I? Of course. So, I haven't got a lot actually though. With Elizabeth's voucher, I specifically bought a Friendships Way. If I get any sort of gifts off anybody, like, you know, like vouchers and things, I like to get something that means something. And I just thought, I've been after this for ages, and when I was looking sort of down my wish list, I just thought, yeah, that would be perfect. So by Blackbird Designs. So it's basically a book of smalls. So there's those three there, and there's loads of berries as well in it. Is there I think there's a bigger one. Like this one. I really like that one. I think that's really nice. just looking. Yeah, there's a bigger one. An antique, 1861 antique sampler. And there's another one. Button box. Look at that house. Look at those bricks. Look at those bloody bricks. Aren't they fabulous? So yes, some bigger ones. So massive thank you, Elizabeth. And I did buy as well the Reader, Primitive Hair. I'm desperate for some more needle books. So Queen of the Needles series. Nearly finished the Christmas one from last year. A bit like the Halloween Brenda Gervais that I left with just a little bit to do. This one hasn't got much to do either, so it won't take any finishing off. I'll have a nice little finish fairly quickly. I, of course, had to get Henny Penny. I love her. By the wonderful Stacey Nash, of course. And there's a sewing roll there as well. Sarah Stonehouse has done them. If you want to see them completed, go and have a look on her Instagram. And I got, now I mentioned it last week, or the last week that I was here doing normal Flosstube, the pot sampler. Once that is done, I have got my eye on another sampler to start immediately. And this is it. Whilst Iris Naps, Martha Martin, 1831. I love that. And it's very like the sort of the pot sampler that I've just done, you know, where it's like there's lots of pots and they're all like in rows, do you know what I mean? I think that's fabulous. Of course, Christina's a wonderful designer. Same designer, she's reproduced it, but you know what I mean. I think that's fab. I love it, love it, love it. So that is that. So they're all my gifts. Seems like a lot. The problem now though is that I've started looking for things. So I have chosen, like this doesn't count because this is off Elizabeth, this is a gift. But then I had 7, didn't I? And now I've got another 3 because we're in September. So I've got 10. So 1, the subscription doesn't count. So 1, that was the Christmas tree that I bought last week. 2, 3, 4. So I've still got 6 left. And there's a couple of Halloween ones that I'm in the process of buying from Rachel. She's just got all the Halloween, the new releases from Primitive Hair. There's a one called, what the hell's it called? It's got like the witch's hair swept back and oh, it's fabulous. It's all done like it's a monochrome, like I like my usual monochrome ones. We've got a gem, by the way, supervising, just in case anyone thinks I've been left unsupervised. I haven't. Melody, it's all alright. Gem's in charge. It'll all be alright. So, yes. So I started looking, didn't I? And then I looked back on 123 Stitch to get inspiration. Shouldn't have done that either. I've done really well this year on my 3-month challenge because I've kept away from shops, basically. I've just kept away from them. And then suddenly I've been forced to go on to and suddenly I can feel me resolve. I mean, I'm in September. I think I'm doing quite well, but I can feel me resolve slipping. And then Lindy Stitches has just come out and said that they're doing the countdown now to the Jingle Ball. I'm like, oh, I either don't go and keep your challenge, or I go and it'll all go horribly wrong. I know. I don't know. I'm busy fighting with myself. Like, come on, Sherrie, you set yourself a challenge for a reason. Let's, you know, it's just one year, just 1 year. I'm not going to go to the knit and stitch show because yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Jingle Ball, I'm still like, because they do some nice classes and stuff that I like. Anyway, where am I? So, forward plans. I am going to start the Christmas rose. Oh. Which I've got ready to go. So this has gone into my bag that was vacated by Anne without an A Burnhope. So I am going to start this. That's a lovely little sampler. Doable before Christmas. So I'm going to start that. I've got all the threads and everything for it. So that's all kitted up. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I've got plans to do Gaia today. I would like to keep going with her. Really, if I knuckle down, I think she can be finished in a month or so, I reckon. So yes, I'm going to knuckle down and get Gaia done. Gaia. What else? Who knows? Who knows? I'll finish me for me. Oh, excuse me. Time I was in my bed. What do you mean it's only 8 o'clock in the morning? So, yeah. Other than that, I'm just going to enjoy my stitching. Now that I've got a full week to get myself with some progress. So, because, I mean, for a fortnight, that's probably a bit of a poor show. So, during the week also, on Tuesday, was it Tuesday? Just check what date it was. Wednesday. So yeah, I didn't think it was Tuesday. Wednesday, I, thank God, celebrated 13 years sober. So, yeah. My mind is still quite blown by it. Because there was a time I couldn't do 13 hours. I kid you not. There's no way. I do not know. And I don't honestly know how I've done 13 years. When I look back, I think how. Because all I ever did was today. I just kept getting to bed somehow by hook or by crook without having picked up a drink. I did want to show you something. Took a while to find it, but oh, hello, Jem. He's come to see what's going on. So back in the beginning, when I was first getting sober, I mean, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. Literally, you cling on for dear life, or I did. So, excellent. Jem's found his bed. This is Jem's bed. Oh, project bag. As soon as he sees the project bag laid out, he's like, oh, champion, your bed's there. Right, okay. Oh, God, causing mayhem. See, I was just showing all the nice ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, I mean, you're literally crawling the walls sometimes, desperate for a drink. And so I had to get something, had to do something with my hands. I mean, I mentioned it last week, like devil makes mischief, idle hands. Oh, I still remember now, literally hanging on for dear frickin' life. And I picked up my cross stitch again, and it's cross stitch I've done all my life. I've always been doing one or another. And they've always been ones that I've done and then gifted, and then like bought as a kit, completed, gifted, bought as a kit, completed, gifted, got for a present, completed, gifted, that sort of thing. But this one is the most precious one that I've ever done. Now, I did ask my sister for it, and she said she doesn't know whether it's in the loft or Jennifer's got it. God knows. So you'll have to make do with the picture. But I did this for my niece, Jennifer Eve. And I did this early in my sober journey just to keep my hands busy. I needed something that kept both hands busy so that I didn't have it free to pick up a drink. So that probably is the most special cross stitch I've ever done, and is probably ever likely to do either, because it goes hand in hand with me getting sober and staying sober. So whilst I can't say cross stitch saved my life, it made a significant contribution to me not getting bored. I talked about it last week, didn't I? Because when I'm bored, you've seen what mischief I can get up to without a drink. Can you imagine with a drink? It's to be fair, it's not very nice. But yeah. So day by day, all I did was, I'm not going to drink today. Just today. If I want one tomorrow, I'll have one. But just for today, I'm not going to pick up a drink. I'm just not. So cross stitch played a massively significant part in my sober journey, and I'll always be grateful to it. Why am I talking about it? Well, actually, because it precedes. Number one, I think if more people talked about it openly, the easier it would be for others to seek help, to know that they're not alone, that actually, you know, some of us have been there, we know what it's like. And, you know, just reach out to me, reach out to, there's AA you can reach out to, there are local rehabs, day rehabs that you can go to 9 till 5, keep yourself busy and, you know, doing something rather than picking up a drink and all that sort of stuff. And I do think, yeah, the more people talk about it, the easier it is, and the less we stigmatise it, because it is still known as a, you know, a homeless man on a park bench, you know, having his bottle of whiskey in a brown paper bag. And that's so far from the truth. I know people from all walks of life, every single walk of life, and from every single, you know, sort of social group, from people that have got millions in money to those that have got nothing. You know, I know everybody, and I implore people, if you've got a problem, please reach out to somebody. When I mentioned it last week and talked about it, so many people said, yeah, my husband's struggled with alcoholism and he's now got 7 years sobriety. Another one, my daughter's struggled with it. She's now got 19 months sobriety. You know, I'm yet to have a conversation with anyone who doesn't know somebody who is either an alcoholic or has a very distinct, because at the end of the day, it's not for me to tell somebody they're an alcoholic, it's just for them. They'll know whether they are or not, and it's for them to listen to people like me and go, yeah, I feel like that. And I don't mean in here, I mean, you know, sort of on a one-to-one level. So yeah, so doing a little bit of shout out for, let's get people talking about it and let them know it's an illness. You know, it is. It's not a lifestyle choice. I didn't go to the careers advisor when I was 16 and say, when I leave school, I'd like to be an alcoholic, please. You know, that's not in anybody's career path. And yet, too many of us end up there. So yeah, Sorry, I've just gone on a little bit of a personal crusade there. So this links into my final thought. So I did the same last year, and I shall continue as long as I do Flosstubes. God willing, a day at a time. I'll do this every year at the same time. So I'm going to... today's final thought is a prayer that I live my life by and have lived my life by for the last 13 years. So, using the word God as you do, I do not understand it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.